Alright guys, here we are back in the tournament, heading into my first match of the top 8. Kind of an interesting storyline here. I lost to 2 people in the Swiss. I went 3-2. And if I'm going to make it to the finals, you know, fingers crossed, I have to beat those exact 2 people. So here I am paired up against Smokey, who's one of the guys who beat me. And Covert was the other guy who beat me. He's already advanced to the quarterfinals. Or I'm sorry, the semifinals. And if I manage to get past Smoke, then Covert is my opponent. So yeah, that's an interesting story there. If I do manage to make the finals, then obviously I got the ultimate story of retribution. But on the other hand, you know, the 2 people that were able to beat me, well, I have to play both of them again. At least one of them again, you know, because Smokey could just take me out and I could be done. But we're not going to keep this hand. I just hit X, but it didn't seem to work. So let's try it again. Okay. Here we have a gate, and then a blue, 2 colorless, and then we got 2 engineers on the draw. A little bit iffy, but we're going to keep. And he starts with Golgari Gilgate. So this is the Jund deck with 7 sweepers, a couple of fiery impulses, and both copies of Nissa's Renewal. So he's got a lot of tools too. He's even got a reclamation stage in there that I can pick off my artifacts. And my spy network if I have one down, so pretty tough matchup. So then he plays Forest and Pass. Do we get a 2-drop? We don't, but we have our 3rd engineer. So we do have the Blighted Gorge here, which is a little bit of extra reach, and we do have a Foundry, and we're well on our way to getting the 6 mana and being able to activate those abilities. But on turn 3, though, I'm going to jam an engineer for sure. That is the premier card that we have available to us. He's not playing any land destruction, so we don't need to worry about sequencing our basics versus duels. So let's get out an engineer here. And let's swing for the massive 1 on the 3rd turn, but this can snowball out of control quickly for us. So definitely going to save one of these engineers for one of those late game turns where I have 7 or 8 men and I can drop an engineer and something big on him. So let's see what he does on turn 4. Is it still nothing? So he's not going to blow a sweeper on just an engineer. So we picked up a Foundry. I'm not going to show him any of these colorless things yet, but I'm not going to play another engineer right now. I'm just going to get a land out of the deck here. Be an island, I guess. Let's just have a quick look at his deck list here. I got my phone up. Let's see what he's got on 4 mana, instant speed type stuff. I'm not seeing anything instant speed outside of Fiery Impulse, so there's no... Whoops, I just hit the desk there. Sorry about that as I laid my phone down. So there we go. Down to 16. He doesn't have that 2nd black source. Perhaps that's what's keeping him off Languish / Miasma. He does have Flames for 3, though. So he's going to Gate Creeper here. I imagine that'll get his Swamp. Maybe a Gate, since he can't actually use that mana this turn, most likely. So yeah, it was a Rakdos Gilgate. So there's that 2nd black source that he seems to need. So that makes me kind of want to not do anything here now, because he's kind of got to sweep at this point. Yeah. I'm just not going to do anything. Except swing for 2 in the air. I suppose I could have attacked there with the 1/3 and pretty freely and just acted like I had a Twin Bolt. There's no reason that I should have not done that. Now he knows I don't have it, or that I wasn't willing to spend it. But I got a pretty big feeling there's a sweeper headed our way now. So let's see, we've got 6 in on him so far. Still got a pretty healthy hand here. 3 cards that make multiple bodies. So he's just going to play the Miasma here now. We get to keep the Engineer. That's interesting. Interesting that we get to keep the Engineer. So that means what I'm actually going to do is convert my Foundry into 2 damage. And so that way if he needs to build up... you know, if he needs to sweep again, then I've still got actual cards. So yeah, I'm just going to convert my lands into damage here. Okay, so that's down to 11. I'd like to draw into some burn now, because eventually he's going to stop us on the board, and then we just need to polish him off with burn. So let's see, here comes the Languish. So that's 2 down. 2 sweepers down. So now we're going to play. We're not going to show only colorless lands right away. No, we're not going to do that. So we're going to play another engineer and then a Peerless Mirror and swing for 2. Peerless Mirror is good against the sweepers, obviously, because it gets to throw 2 at his face. And then on 7 mana, we've got Thopter Engineer plus Whirler Rogue. So, you know, these 3 engineers with the haste is great, at least allowing us to convert for damage before he sweeps the board. So let's get in for 2 more, take him to 9. How many more sweepers can he have? Well, this isn't a sweeper, but it's the life gain. So he's just going to thin out his deck tremendously here now and go back up to 16 life, so that's a real pain in the fucking asshole, that is. That's a large pain in the hole. So Chief of the Foundry. I actually kind of like this here. I actually like Chief a lot here. So, and then we'll show him the other Foundry. We want to keep that Blighted Gorge home. What's a Whirler Rogue worth here now? A Whirler Rogue is worth 4, 10. Yeah, let's take it. Let's take the shot. We've still got an Engineer, Blighted Gorge, and Foundry to Consul, so we've still got some follow-up. So he's going down to 5. So we've dealt 22 to him already. See if he's got another sweeper. He's got another Languish. Throw 2 at him. So we got the Blighted Gorge to deal 2 to him. He's playing an Outland Colossus, but we got a Thopter Engineer to get in for 1, and then a Blighted Gorge will just finish it for us. Unless he has that second Nissa's Renewal. That's his only other way to gain life outside of Liliana, which would take a much longer time. Although if I put Blighted Gorge down, I have enough mana to actually just kill him. So Twin Bolt face. Drop a Blighted Gorge. Make sure we activate the correct ability, and kill him. All right, so that's game number 1. Yeah, 3 Thopter Engineers. I mean, he had 3 sweepers and a Nissa's Renewal, and we still beat it. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I am pretty pleased with that. Alright, moving on to game number 2. Hopefully we can replicate that again. So let's see, versus battle against a friend with my Thopter deck. Alright guys. 1 game away from the semifinals. 1 game away. Oh my! Now that we're in the playoffs, like, you know, the Swiss was the Swiss and all that, but I've actually got some nerves here now. You know, I got butterflies floating around and don't want to fuck up. Definitely don't want to fuck up. You know, with in a playoff scenario. So let's see. There's Smokey. So there we go. Yeah, we beat a Miasma, a Languish, a Renewal, and a Languish. Whew. But yeah, the 3 engineers were the key there, though. I mean, that haste. Without the haste, we don't even come close to winning that game. Alright, so here we go. Good luck, Smokey. And on to game 2. Woo! Man, I'm pumped. Oh, man, I got fucking goosebumps and everything. I am excited here. Let's go. Come on, game. You're just making it harder for me. You're making it a lot harder for me. Come on. I just want to see my opening hand. I want to have a good one. Alright, let's see. What have we here? Here we have Gate, Mountain. We do have the Vile Esperzoa combo. But that's not a thing that we're going to worry about now. But we do have Vile into Engineer, and this is obviously the premier turn 3 play. And then we can Esperzoa out with haste, hopefully. So we're going to keep this. You know, we have two 3s and a 4 with 3 mana. We don't have the double blue that we need for the Spy Network, but that's not necessarily an on-curve play anyway. We picked up a second Esperzoa. That could be a little bit of a liability. Those are, you know, that's not a card you really ever want to see more than 1 of. Unless, you know, somehow magically we get an Engineer and get to drop 2 of these guys with haste or something. So he's gone gate into forest. And we picked up a Whirler Rogue. Now is when we would definitely... Now we have an on-curve play with double blue. So we'd like to pick that up before the 4th turn, and there it is. So let's see what happens on his 3rd turn. Nothing yet. So we're not going to play the gate, obviously, but we are going to play the engineer and get in for 1. Question is, does he want to sweep this and trade 1 for 1 with it, given how many problems he had with the haste last turn? Because I mean, this is an exquisite firecraft. I have 2 exquisite firecrafts in my hand right now. If that Thopter engineer stays alive, which is pretty powerful. What's going on here? What? I lost my connection to Xbox Live. I guess that's a game loss for me. I was having server problems. Earlier. Actually, we had a bit of a trouble before this recording connecting, and I can't reconnect the server, so that's a game loss for me. I'm not connected to Xbox Live. That DC is mine. I don't know why that happened, but that's fairly upsetting. Alright, well, just let me get my phone out and smart glass him and let him know what happened. I'm going to mute the mic there, guys. Just 1 second. Alright, so I just sent him a message there, letting him know that, you know, server issues were on my end, and that's a game loss for me. Very, very upset about that, but there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, that's the rules. So let's go into a versus battle. And play Thopters. Against Smoky Lighters. Okay. So here we go, on to game 3. It's a pretty shitty way to end your game 2, but you know, such is technology. All right then. Well, let's try that again. A little bit of drama here. I guess the game wants to replicate the scenario of our last matchup, where I bungled the second game and then lost the third game due to complete tilt. We're going to try to keep a cool head here. Just play, you know, play the hand that we're dealt. We'll play it as best we can, and hopefully we'll get there. Alright, so what do we have this time? Not quite as good. You know, Peerless Mirror into essentially nothing into Whirler Rogue is not quite enough pressure. And then we have no 2-drops and no blue mana. Here we have 4 mana and a Peerless Mirror, and we can cast that Firebird when we get to 4, but we're on the draw, so this is pretty bad. Smoky's gone down to 6, so maybe with a few good top decks we can take this thing, but hand's not looking the greatest. You know, I like where I was in the last game with the Thopter Engineer, about to slam a couple of Esper Zoas. We picked up another mountain, so let's lead with that. Hopefully if we flood out, this Firebird can just get us there with land drop triggers. I mean, that's one of the things that can do, and that's one of the reasons why it's in here. The recursion. And we picked up PN Karen. That's going to be pretty good for us. So let's get our mirror down first. Firebird's going to, be the play over this in most circumstances, I can imagine, though. So we're just going to want to get that into play and then rebuild with P and Kieran post sweeper. So on his third turn, he plays an Evolving Wilds. So he's having to thin out his deck a little bit because he mulliganed to 6 as well. Would like to pick up an Engineer here, though, or Esper's, some kind of 3-drop. Pilgrim's Eye, even. No, it's land. So let's just play our 3-drop play our third land and get in for 1. But we shouldn't have much trouble activating this Firebird once it does eventually die. So let's see, does he have a turn 4 play? I'm sure he does have a Languisher or Miasma, but it's not worth going after that Lone Peerless Mirror just yet. Picked up a Chief, which is going to come in handy later on. Even on 7 mana, P and Kieran plus Chief is going to be worth 4 damage and a must sweep. So let's just get down with the Firebird. Let's lock in that attack for 4. And let's see, is it Sweeper City or is it Outland Colossus time? Sweeper City, but Miasma's not going to hit the dude unless he has the Fiery Impulse there to finish it off. Which he does, but he's down to 3 cards in his hand now. So we're going to follow up with P and Kieran here. Or will we follow up with Whirler Rogue? Honestly, Whirler Rogue is better because later on in the game, if I have 7 mana, I can activate that ability in response to the Sweeper. So we are going to follow up. We can't afford that ability. We're going to follow up with Whirler Rogue. Excuse me, guys. Sorry, that was actually a pretty good top deck because now, if he does have the second Sweeper, we got another follow-up again. We've still got the triggers to get that Firebird back into play, and he's on 3 cards, so... So let's see if he's got another Sweeper here. It's a Green Warden, so yeah, he picks up a Sweeper out of his graveyard. I'm assuming it's going to be Miasma. I can't look at that anymore. I think the Awakening is 7 on that. So now the question is, well, we're just going to play Firebird, honestly. We're just going to get that trigger going. Just going to get that going. We're going to save this as a chump blocker, but presumably he'll cast Rising Miasma first. So that takes him down to 8. Oh, man. Okay. Fucking Renewal. Oh, my God, that hurts. But I've got a Chief of the Foundry here. And a Thopter Engineer. That hits pretty hard. I'm actually not going to chump block if he attacks. I'm not going to. I'm going to go for max damage. I wish I could double Chief, and that would get everything out of Miasma range. I've got another P and Kieran. I don't have haste currently on board. So if I Thopter Engineer plus Chief of the Foundry, Thopter Engineer means we'll have 3 in the air, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going for it. And I don't even know if I counted my own Chief. But that's a lot of damage right there. Takes him down to 2, and we've got the Blighted Gorge. As long as we can untap without him gaining any life, we're going to win. So no more Nissa's Renewal, please. Liliana can't save him here. No, it's just a guy's revenge, and we've got a chump blocker for that. And pre-combat, make sure we activate the right ability. Kill him with the Blighted Gorge. Oh god! All right, so we're on to we're on to the next round against Covert Go Blue. Kind of got a little bit prickly there after the disconnect, but you know it's actually written in the rules. If you DC, it's a game lost. That's just, you know, don't let it bother you. I think that's why it didn't tilt me, because it was out of my control. Whereas when I miss lethal, it's within my control, and that just sends me off when I fuck up. So I'm gonna send. I'm sure Smokey's sending me a GG. I'm gonna send him the same from my smart glass here. And that's it. That's it. So we knocked off one of our 2 demons. But like I said at the beginning of the video, we lost the 2 players in the Swiss, Smokey and Covert. We just beat Smokey to exercise that demon, and then now our next matchup is against Covert, and the winner plays in the finals. Thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you in the semifinals as soon as that goes live, as soon as all the pairings are set.